while I was gone. They set the world on fire. It wasn't a war anymore. It was a remaking.
Hi guys, this is James from CVG and I'm here with Andy Kelly. Hello Andy.
Hello.
And we are here to talk Wolfenstein New Order.
Yes.
You've been away to play it.
Yeah.
So this is a revamped new Wolfenstein. Who's making this one then?
This is by Machine Games. That's a new studio that were purchased by ZeniMax, who own Bethesda, who are publishing this. They are made up of, and were founded by, former Starbreeze members.
Right.
So after Syndicate was a bit of a disaster for EA, there was some changes at Starbreeze. I'm not sure of whether they left of their own volition or not, but either way, they've now, a lot of the key members of the Chronicles of Riddick and the Darkness team are working on this. So, and you can kind of tell it's got the same, that kind of dark comic book look that they are so good at. And so yeah, that's pretty exciting that it's a new game from the makers of what I think were great Riddick and Darkness.
Yeah, 'cause the shooting in those games was pretty solid and it was pretty good.
Yeah,
so,
it's a new studio, so it still has a bit of uniqueness about it.
And in terms of character and the story, the general story of it, then what's actually going on?
Well, you play once again as BJ Blazkowicz, the star of previous Wolfensteins.
Yeah.
And he's been. They showed us the new character model. You won't see it in this video, but they've modelled his face on the little pixelated face.
I think we've got a little screenshot of his new face. Yeah.
So on the little face at the bottom of Wolfenstein 3D's HUD, they've modelled it on him. So he's got the same like ridiculous square jaw and like blonde hair. He looks ridiculous. But that's kind of this game's vibe. It's ridiculous. It's set on an alternate history in the 60s,
right?
Where Hitler won the Second World War.
Okay.
And so, actually, you know what? Like it says, they didn't confirm, and they said that it follows the canon of Wolfenstein 3D, in which you killed Hitler.
Okay.
But I did ask them. I said, "Is Hitler in it?" And they were like, So I think maybe
he'll turn up.
Yeah, like his head on a robot or something.
Because we can see in this photo there's robots and things.
Yeah.
So.
Well, the Nazis have the story revolves around the fact that the Nazis' technology in the last 20 years, whatever, has made a serious leap forward, and so BJ is trying to not only kill all the Nazis but find out how they've managed to develop robots and land on the moon. Because the level I played is you find out that the Nazis were the first people on the moon.
Okay, so right, it's changed history quite a lot. Then.
And BJ's like it's like a weird mix of, there's all this really atmospheric scene setting stuff like the cab ride in occupied London, but then it's also really dumb, and BJ has these ridiculous one-liners that he kind of whispers to himself. It's really weird. Like when you pick up a pair of double shotguns, he goes, "I got some bad news for you, Fritz," and like stuff like that. It's like it's really like corny. And when you find out about the Nazis landing on the moon, he goes, "They put a Nazi on the moon. Fuck the moon." It's really. You can bleep that out if you want.
But it's purposely stupid.
Yeah, it's like it's got a kind of pulpy, Inglorious Bastards kind of vibe about it. There's a part where you're on a Nazi train. Everything's a Nazi, whatever.
Yeah.
You're on a Nazi train and you're undercover, and a Nazi leader general stops you and makes you take this Aryan purity test.
Right.
And you actually have to pick images. Like she puts two images in front of you and goes, "Which do you more prefer?" And it's like skulls or blood or whatever. And it's like a kind of the character animation is amazing. It uses idTech 5, which is was used in Rage, but has since been improved because Rage had a lot of texture pop in and stuff like that. It's actually the first next gen quote unquote game I've played, because I played it on a high end PC. With an Xbox pad, but the next gen version, it's been released on current gen and next gen, and it did look really impressive. It was really amazing, really nice physics. The environment felt really dynamic and it would fall apart and get a whole shot in it. Just a really nice looking game and super smooth as well.
Alright, let's briefly talk about the the firepower we've got, because some of these guns look quite impressive.
Yeah. Well, the game is like an old school FPS. It's like it's an ode to the shooters of the late 90s. It's like Quake. So you're running around. You have to have shield and health pickups. There's a tiny bit of regen, but only a very slight amount.
Right. So you're getting medikits and stuff.
Yeah. So you're always scrabbling around for medikits. The weapons are just giant and ridiculous, and you can have double shotguns that are like fill up the whole screen, and they make such a loud sound. It's amazing. It feels really satisfying. The AI is really aggressive, and you've got this laser thing where you can. It's a mixture of solving puzzles, like by cutting chains and holes and stuff, but you can also make makeshift cover with it, which is pretty cool.
So can you cut holes in like anything?
Yeah, well, it's that kind of gamey thing where you can cut holes in anything as long as it's part of a puzzle. But it is like really, you can like cut shapes in real time into stuff. So you can cut rude shapes. Of if you're cutting access into an event, you've got to cut a little shape out of it, so you can make it whatever shape you want. It's quite impressive tech, and like the little bit that you cut out falls off. So it's like really
nice.
It's a really impressive bit of tech in it. It's not as. It reminds me of the gravity gun in Half-Life, and then it's worked into the gameplay in quite interesting ways. But it's not as game changing as that. Like in Half-Life, you could play it with the gravity gun, and not using any guns pretty much.
Yeah.
It's not that all-encompassing, but it's still really impressive.
Overall then, quite impressed, quite fun to play.
Yeah, good old school, quite basic shooter, but they promised a lot of variety and a lot of interesting story moments to sort of keep you interested.
Alright, well we'll check out more of it when we get some more footage.
They're rewriting history,
There must be some kind of way out of here.
but they forgot about me.
Said a joker to the thief. There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief.